Have you ever felt like you were on the outside looking in? Like you didn't quite belong? Or that the blessings you desperately needed were meant for someone else? It's a tough feeling, one that can make you want to give up. Today, we're diving into a powerful story about a woman who refused to accept that feeling. A woman who, against all odds, broke through barriers with her incredible wit and unshakable faith. This is the story of the Syrophoenician woman found in Mark chapter 7. Jesus had traveled to the region of Tyre and Sidon, a Gentile area, basically foreign territory. He was trying to get some rest, to be incognito, but his fame had spread far and wide. It didn't take long for someone to find him. The Bible tells us a woman, a Greek born in Syrian Phoenicia, heard about him. Now, this is a crucial detail. In that time and culture, she was a total outsider. She wasn't Jewish, and the social and religious divides were massive. To many, she was seen as unclean, as someone outside of God's covenant with Israel. But this woman had a problem that transcended all social barriers. Her little daughter was suffering terribly, tormented by an impure spirit. As a mother, can you imagine her desperation? She would do anything, go anywhere, talk to anyone if it meant her child could be healed. So, when she heard that Jesus, the miracle worker, was nearby, she didn't hesitate. She didn't let cultural norms or the fear of rejection stop her. She found the house where he was staying, went in, and fell at his feet. Picture this scene. A foreign woman, probably looking distraught and exhausted from worry, throwing herself at the feet of a Jewish teacher. She bypasses any disciples standing guard and makes her plea directly to Jesus. Heal my daughter. It's a raw, honest cry for help from a mother's heart. Now, Jesus' response is one of the most shocking and debated passages in the Gospels. He looks at her and says, "First, let the children eat all they want, for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." Wow. Let that sink in. He calls her a dog. In that culture, dogs was a common derogatory term used by Jews to refer to Gentiles. It sounds harsh, dismissive, almost cruel. Why would Jesus, the embodiment of love and compassion, say something so seemingly offensive? This is where many people get stuck. Was he being prejudiced? Was he testing her? Let's unpack this. Many scholars believe Jesus wasn't being malicious. He was verbalizing the prevailing cultural attitude of the time, the very barrier she was up against. He was essentially saying, "My primary mission right now is to the house of Israel, the children. The blessings are for them first." He was holding up a mirror to the societal prejudice that separated them. He was setting the stage for a powerful lesson, not just for her, but for his own disciples who were watching. Now, how would most of us react to being called a dog? We'd probably get angry, feel insulted, and walk away defeated. We might say, "Fine, I didn't want your help anyway." But this woman is different. She is brilliant. She is quick-witted. And her faith is rock solid. She doesn't get offended. She doesn't back down. Instead, she leans into his analogy and flips it with incredible cleverness. She replies, "Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." This is pure genius. She doesn't argue with him. She doesn't dispute his point that the children should be fed first. She says, "Yes, I accept that. I'm not asking for a seat at the table. I'm not asking for the whole loaf of bread. I'm just a humble dog under the table, and even the dogs get the crumbs that fall." She acknowledges his mission to Israel, but insists that the grace of God is so abundant, so overflowing, that even a few crumbs of that grace would be more than enough to heal her daughter. She saw what others missed. She understood that Jesus' power and compassion weren't a limited resource. There was enough for everyone. Her response showed humility. She was willing to accept the label of a dog. But it also showed incredible, persistent faith. She believed that even a fraction of his power, a crumb of his blessing, was all she needed. Jesus is completely won over by her response. You can almost hear the admiration in his voice. He says to her, "For such a reply, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." He didn't say, "For your great faith." Although her faith was immense, he said, "For such a reply." He commended her cleverness, her humility, her refusal to be shut out. She engaged with him on his own terms and won the argument not through confrontation, but through witty, humble persistence. And just like that, it was done. The Bible says she went home and found her child lying on the bed, and the demon was gone. The miracle happened at a distance, at the very moment Jesus spoke the words. Her faith, expressed through that brilliant, humble plea, had bridged the gap between cultures, between worthiness and unworthiness, and brought healing and wholeness to her family. So, what can we take away from this amazing encounter? First, don't let barriers stop you. This woman was an outsider in every sense of the word, by nationality, by religion, by gender. But her need was great, and her faith was greater. She didn't let how things are supposed to be dictate her actions. When you need help, don't let feelings of unworthiness or the fear of rejection keep you from asking. Go boldly to the source of help. Second, persistence pays off. She could have easily been discouraged by Jesus' initial response, but she persisted. Her faith wasn't fragile, it was tenacious. Sometimes the answer to our prayers isn't an immediate yes. Sometimes we are tested. The question is, will we give up, or will we, like this woman, humbly and persistently keep asking? Third, humility is a superpower. She didn't let pride get in the way. Being called a dog would have sent most people storming off. But she accepted the lowly position and used it to her advantage. She showed that true faith isn't about demanding what you think you deserve. It's about humbly accepting whatever grace is offered, knowing that even the smallest crumb from God's table is a feast. This story is a beautiful reminder that God's grace is not confined by our human boundaries of race, culture, or social standing. It's for everyone who seeks it with a humble and persistent heart. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come when we feel like we have the least to offer, when all we can do is fall at His feet and say, "Lord, I just need a crumb." Maybe today you feel like an outsider. Maybe you feel like the blessings are for everyone else but you. Remember this Syrophoenician mother. Remember her courage, her wit, and her incredible faith. Be willing to be humble. Be persistent, and don't be afraid to ask for the crumbs, because with God, even a crumb is enough to change everything. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this powerful story. If it resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and stay faithful.